Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate you all carving some time out of your Tuesday to dive in with us to learn a little bit more about SmartConnect, specifically with D365 and CRM. My name is Luke Steckler, a partner development manager here at E1 Solutions, and I'll kind of be your pilot driving us through a few different pieces today. So again, appreciate you all carving the time out of your day to dive in, and we'll probably get everyone out of here a little bit early, and we'll keep you the full hour. That's for sure. It's kind of our agenda. We'll cover a quick high-level overview of SmartConnect of E1. We'll dive into the longest portion of an interactive demo. So we'll see a SmartConnect working in action with CRM and a few different other scenarios. We'll circle back with pricing, training, resources available, and we really want this to be an informal piece today. So if you all have thoughts, feedback, or questions, please. Would love to open things up to Q&A throughout the session today, and that way we can really have a good interactive conversation and cover anything that you all wanted to address during our time together. So appreciate everyone again joining us today, and we'll get started. And again, feel free to chime in with those questions or any other thoughts or feedback at any point in time as we go through, so we can make things as interactive as possible. So a quick overview for any of you who aren't aware. So E1 Solutions is headquartered in Fargo, North Dakota. We are the developers of SmartConnect. We also have teams in Austin, Texas, Sydney, Australia, and Copenhagen, Denmark. So we've really been working in the integration space, in the Microsoft space for the better part of the last 2 decades. I've really been honored to have SmartConnect really grow pretty rapidly over that time. So now we've got over 6,000 customers all over the world, and have really integrated CRM with hundreds of different systems out there. So we'll kind of touch on that in just a moment, but certainly are well versed in the space. Have been working with CRM from the very beginning. So really excited to kind of again be in the space, and it's kind of crazy how things have evolved. So, and again, when we say D365, when we say CRM, that really means everything under that customer engagement umbrella. So whether you have CRM on premise, whether you have D365 in an on-premise environment, whether you're using sales, customer service, field service, project service automation, SmartConnect can handle really again everything under that D365 customer engagement umbrella, or even traditional CRM. All right, so when we kind of dive into SmartConnect itself, again, we'll focus a lot on D365 and CRM today. I know the majority of you are looking at integrations with either Business Central or GP, so we'll certainly showcase both of those in action. We'll also look at some ways to do easy, Excel imports and data uploads into CRM. But also want to just kind of point out, you have a lot of flexibility with SmartConnect. So probably one of the most popular options to take integrations to, again, another level, and kind of when we talk about those hundreds of different connections, a lot of that is utilizing SmartConnect's Web Services Connector, which really allows us to build a custom connector for virtually any REST or SOAP-based API out there. So any web application, any cloud system with an API, there's a 99.9% chance that SmartConnect can integrate with it, in addition to a lot of file integration that we've done. So if systems can export data to a CSV, a text, and if you've got an FTP or an SFTP site out there that is being populated with data on a recurrent basis, that could be another really good scenario to utilize SmartConnect to integrate with CRM, or again with really any other application out there. So when we dive in a little bit further, we kind of talk about, hey, SmartConnect is really the go between again CRM GP, D365, and Business Central, whatever it might be. Draw a line between any of these two, and that's where SmartConnect fits in. So it's true bidirectional integration, pushing data in from CRM, pulling it back out. SmartConnect can handle all of that. I talked about kind of getting that web services, more generic API connection. Some of the very common ones that we've worked with are things like SAP, Concur, and Zendesk. Again, tap into their APIs and building essentially a custom connection inside of SmartConnect. Salesforce migration, that's another one, moving from Salesforce to Dynamics 365, or even having some customers that have a segment of their organization that is both. We've handled a fair amount of that, and obviously we'll touch as well on some of the Excel templates we have that work with D365 with SmartConnect, you can really make data import and data updates inside of CRM pretty easy. You get a lot of flexibility. So again, the ability to build out real-time integrations, changes-only integrations, scheduled integrations. That's all completely customized within SmartConnect. We'll see examples of all of those during our demo today. And kind of behind the scenes, again, we'll see some of the transformation that's taking place, whether that's different calculated fields, different lookups, translations, rolling columns, all of that kind of automation that SmartConnect can handle behind the scenes. We'll see some of those in action. We'll dive into those maps. And one of the beauties of SmartConnect, one of the things that we've really tried to focus on with it is making it a tool that you don't need to be a developer to be able to build out complex integrations. You don't need to write any code. You don't need to handle any of those different components. Yet you can still handle a ton of customization, a ton of complexities that are inherent to integration, right inside a single tool with really again a power user type mind frame and experience level. You don't need to be a developer to handle and bring these things together. All right, so without further ado, let's kind of dive in and bring some of this to life. So we'll kind of, our demo scenario today, we'll showcase some data coming into an e-commerce site. We'll show that coming into CRM, into GP, into Business Central, kind of all of those seamlessly working together. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to my demo environment. We're going to blow this up. So again, if any of you want to, you can certainly come out to this website as well. It's just demo.e1solutions.com, and feel free to enter any data points that you'd like within there. And I'm going to do that right now. It'll look like this again when you get to the screen. And you can go ahead and you can register as regular, as VIP. It's completely up to you. And I'll kind of talk about what's going on behind the scenes. So we'll give everyone a few moments, and I'll enter a few different records on my end. And then we'll kind of talk about what's going on. Perfect. So kind of the theme or the scenario here is that E1's hosting a party. We want people to come out to this website and register for the party. So that way we have, again, some information. We can contact you. We can get you all the details, get you your tickets, so on and so forth. The beauty of this is SmartConnect's handling a lot of that information for us behind the scenes. So this is the scheduled integration. This is scheduled to run every minute on the minute. So every minute on the minute, SmartConnect's looking for new records that have been input here. And it's doing a variety of things with those. On the CRM side, we are creating accounts. We are creating contacts and associating those contacts as primary contacts on the account. We are adding those contacts to a marketing list. And we're also looking for some duplication. So based on the key field in this instance of an email address, we're looking to see if that contact already exists inside CRM. If it doesn't, great. So we're going to go ahead and create a brand new one and all that automation. Yet if it does, we're not going to create a duplicate account. We're just going to go ahead and update the one that's already existing there. So a lot of automation going on that side. On the GP side, we're also creating customers, creating contacts under that customers, and we're even creating an invoice for the ticket for these individuals inside of GP. So again, really based off of just 2 freeform fields, 1 auto-generated field, and 1 list option. We're handling all of that automation behind the scenes in 2 different technologies. So I'm going to dive into CRM, and I'm going to pull up in the marketing list that we've got teed up here for our party. So we're going to go ahead and pull that open. And there we go. And I kind of hit my drop down. We're going to be able to see everyone who's come in and registered. So we've got a few different registers there. We see the ones that I put in. So all of those records being, again, automatically created inside CRM. If I go ahead and dive deeper, we can see what's in that account. All of your customization. So all of your custom fields that you've created, again, inside of CRM, not a problem to handle any of those from an integration standpoint. That's really, again, that's the whole point of CRM, is all the different custom fields and custom entities. SmartConnect can handle all of them. So this is that contact. And again, if I dive over to that account side, we can see that we've associated that contact as a primary contact on the account, in addition to adding those individuals to a marketing list. So I'm going to go ahead and enter an address for this customer. So let's say our customer service team was able to grab an address. We're going to make those updates, and I'm going to go ahead and put them right with the E1 team here in Fargo. And this is a real-time integration. So the moment I hit done, however, this integration has not been sent. That's because that record hasn't been saved. But if I go ahead and save that, this integration still has not been sent. And that's because we have some additional criteria built out around this one. So we've told SmartConnect, we only want you to send our CRM data in this instance to the GP when accounts are flagged as customers. We don't want you creating or updating information for prospects or partners or competition or any other data that we have inside the CRM. We only want those automations processes being handled when we're flagging that account as a customer. That's a really good example of ways that you can build criteria and different steps and stages into your integrations. So maybe that's different stages within the opportunity or the sales process. As different things are complete, that needs to trigger different events inside your ERP or inside another application. SmartConnect can handle all those automations, but you can again customize the triggers, the criteria to match your business, to match your processes, and how all of these different pieces need to function together. So I go ahead and open GP. I'm going to pull open SmartView, and we're going to take a look at all of the orders that have come in today. Let SmartView open up for me. GP's taking just a moment. Come on. Once I get SmartView open, we'll pull open a special list that we've built inside of SmartView that shows us just the orders that have come in for today. I don't know what's going on with my GP here. There we go. All right, now we've got it open. Now I can dive into today's orders, and there we're going to see SmartView pull back all of the orders that we entered again from that e-commerce site. So we'll load that up. And we can see each individual order. There's we go. There's all of our customers. There's the dollar amount. Again, we're capturing that calculated field there. So that's not a field that's inherent to GP. We've actually built that with another one of our tools called Extender. And if I go ahead and open up Walt Disney's record, so we've got that invoice created for them. If I open up his customer page, it looks like my internet's being a little slow. We haven't quite had that record feed over yet from SmartConnect. Let me try that one more time, and we'll see if we've got the address in there. I did flag it as a customer and save it, right? All right, we did that. Make sure that one's saved. I think it's just a timing issue. We give that a chance to come through. I'm also going to make a couple updates, and we'll send some data back to CRM. So I'm going to go ahead and select a class because GP loves that. And let's say our accounting team was able to grab a phone number for this customer. So we're going to go ahead and create a phone number. And again, I'm going to save that. And that is going to prompt us to send that data now back to the CRM side. So I pull that record open one more time. Let's see if we've got that address yet from our CRM side. Not quite yet. SmartConnect's giving us a little bit of heck, but if I go ahead and give that a moment to come through, we'll allow that record to pass through, and then we'll see that phone number coming through on this side from GP as we made the updates on that side. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh that. My entire environment's been a little slow booting up for me today, so I'm wondering if that's putting a bit of a drag on our integrations, but so there we go. So we did see that phone number come over in near real time. If I open up that customer, let's see if we've got that address there on this side. So not yet. So that's still taking a little bit of time, and I wonder again. We saw GP kind of open pretty slowly with SmartView, so I'll give that just a moment. We'll actually look at another scenario here, and we'll see what we've got cooking on that side. So those are a couple of really good examples of some bidirectional integration between CRM, between GP, One thing to note too is that we've built out a lot of templates around this to make this even easier. So if you ever go out to the E1 website, you can go to downloads, you can access it under the SmartConnect product page and then downloads. Then if you go to templates, you'll see the pre-built templates that we've built for D365, and we've even got more if you add in things that are built specifically around GP. But diving in here further, so we can really, I kind of say, think of these templates like you are framing a house. The structure's there, the heavy lifting's been done, yet you can completely still customize. Just like you can customize the house, you can pick out the floors, the flooring options, the paint colors, the countertops, all of that. You can do the same thing with these templates. So we've got pre-built maps, and it's 44 pre-built maps, bi-directional, everything from real time to changes only around some of the most common scenarios. So accounts, currencies, invoice, etc. And if I dive into this deeper, we can see all the different maps that have been built out within that. So a lot of flexibility there to say, hey, we've done the heavy lifting for you. Yet now you can dive in, you can customize your criteria, you can customize the fields that are being mapped between the two, the timing of the integrations. You can customize all of that, yet the heavy lifting's been done to make the implementation and to bring some of these things up and going much more quickly. All right, so now I'm going to showcase a couple different examples on utilizing our Excel add-in. So this allows us to do some pretty cool things between SmartConnect, Excel, and really any data coming from a file. So the first off is I'm actually going to use SmartConnect to pull data, in this case from GP, into my Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this, and what we're doing here is, as you probably noticed, pulling in all of the orders that have come through today right into Excel. And the beauty is within here, I have, again, a lot of accounts. A lot of teams love to work inside Excel, which is great. They can do that and yet have the ability to easily push updates directly into GP. So let's say, again, everyone registered for the party. We're going to zero out their invoices. We're going to make Walt throw us an awesome party, upgrade everybody to VIP. That looks awesome. So now I can utilize SmartConnect's Excel add-in to push this data back into GP. So really what this does is it links a certain Excel spreadsheet to a SmartConnect map. So this allows your users to handle all of the updates, all of the automation inside of GP. They don't have to key this data in, yet they can't touch the integration. They can't break the maps. They can't do anything on the SmartConnect side except to run it. So instead of keying these updates and changes in manually, they can simply run them. And then if I go back to Smart View and hit refresh, we can see all those updates have been made right inside the GP invoices. So we've got a lot of really cool templates around this for not only GP, but also for CRM. So if I go and exit that one out, we're not going to save that today. Just to even show you for an example, we've got a lot of ones on CRM across accounts and contacts, leads, and opportunities. And if I dive into this one, so we've got a whole list of accounts here. And we've got a nonprofit that loves this feature. So they, will host a lot of different donor galas and events. And a lot of times they would get those attendee lists and contact information, inside an Excel spreadsheet. And that would be spent, keying in to the CRM system so they could use that data. Now, since they've, again, invested in SmartConnect, they've built their own Excel templates to go ahead and use SmartConnect to then just power and process all of that automation behind the scenes to import this data into CRM. So just like we saw with that, that demo.e1 solutions, that order screen, we can handle the same automation with some of the data here. It's going to be the same look and feel. All I need to do is go ahead and click Run Map, and SmartConnect is going to call its web service and fire behind the scenes. And within this, we are processing a lot of the same automation. Just going to make sure that SmartConnect is going to pop up there, and we'll get this one running. I do want to tab off of that record, that one that I entered, so that might help as well. All right, we'll see if that pops up for us. And then some of the automation we've built behind this map is, again, very similar to that demo.e1solutions.com. So that's what we are: creating accounts, creating contacts, associating those contacts as primary contacts onto the account. That could even include adding those individuals to a marketing address, or a marketing list, I should say, adding things like address to accounts to contacts, etc. So we've got all of that direct contact information, and instead of keying this in, opening the door to manual error, so on and so forth, fat fingering things, making errors, SmartConnect can handle all of that automation behind the scenes pretty seamlessly. So again, we've got built ones to really allow you to add things like accounts and contacts and opportunities and leads pretty quickly, but you can completely customize this, and we'll kind of show that in just a moment when we dive inside of SmartConnect itself on what brings some of these different components together. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and open up SmartConnect, and we'll kind of show you what's going on behind the scenes with some of these different pieces and how SmartConnect's really making a lot of that happen. So we've got a wide variety of maps here. I'm going to start out with this one, which is really taking that initial data that I entered into Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse, Daffy Duck, etc., and handling all that automation behind the scenes inside of CRM. So we'll pull up in this map, and we'll kind of start with an overall breakdown. Again, if you kind of remember back when a few minutes ago in our initial conversation, we started with, okay, SmartConnect is built to make integration as easy as possible for the non-developer. So we do that by trying to say, okay, at a high level, where's our data coming from and where's it going to? What's our source? What's our destination? So we've got our source in this instance. Traditionally it'd be CRM, but we're actually doing a couple different pieces with this and utilizing SmartConnect's multi-data source functionality. So what I mean by that is we're taking the data from that initial website and we're utilizing an ODBC connection there. And again, we're cross-referencing that against the email address inside of CRM to say, okay, does this record or does a contact with this record already exist? If it does, we're just going to update it. If it doesn't, then SmartConnect wants you to handle all of that process automation. Again, this is a scheduled map that occurs every minute on the minute. Yet we could make that changes only, real time. You've got all that flexibility. So that's where our data is coming from. Then where it's going to is obviously CRM. And within that, again, we're updating accounts, contacts, and an individual, creating marketing lists, adding members to that marketing list, all of that automation. And if any of you have multiple orgs in CRM, great. The beauty is you don't need to create separate integration maps to integrate with multiple orgs. All you can handle true integration across any number of orgs inside of CRM with a single map. We can also even define some things a bit better here. So let's say it's orders coming from an e-commerce site, and products A through F need to go to company A, and products G through Z need to go to company B. We can define that so SmartConnect's automatically doing some of the data sorting as data comes in and sending, okay, company or product B that automatically goes to company A, product T that automatically goes to company B, so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool and a great, again, automation technique. Dive in a little bit deeper. So again, we can see we've got accounts and contacts. We've got that associate record, so making sure we're associating those contacts on the account and the marketing list, all included inside this single integration. If I dive in to see the account mapping itself, we'll start to see where some of the magic comes into play inside SmartConnect. So everything on the left is coming from our destination. Everything on the left is coming from our source. I should say everything on the right is our destination. So this is coming from that web form. This is everything in CRM. And again, in this instance, we are creating accounts. So CRM is that we're going to highlight in red anything that is mandatory and required to create an account inside of CRM. We've got access again to all of those fields, all of your custom fields. SmartConnect's going to pull in all of those, but it's as easy as simply dragging and dropping from one to the other if you want to handle any mapping from one to the next. You'll also notice that we've got some core columns here, but when I entered that data, I entered Walt Disney in two different fields. Yet when we created that created that account name, it was only under a single account name. It was all under Walt Disney. So that's where some of the data transformation comes into place. We've got actually a few different data transformations going on here. So we've got some calculated fields, some lookups, some relationship types, and again, even deeper, looking at translation tables and rolling columns. So again, when we're creating invoices, rolling columns is a perfect example of that, because we're saying, okay, we want you to create invoice 2616, the next one's going to be 2617, so on and so forth. But here's where we're building in all of that automation and kind of transformation behind the scenes. I mentioned the calculated field. That's a really good example. So I'm going to pull up in that one specifically, and we're going to take a look at what's going on behind the scenes there. So I've been mentioning this whole time that you don't need to be a developer to use SmartConnect, and you certainly don't yet. If you have some developers on your team, the beauty is SmartConnect can give them a lot of pretty cool tools as well. So right in here is the first one of those windows that allows a lot of options and flexibility on .NET coding. So that's what's actually initially is in here to bring those two fields together. However, I'm not a developer, not by any stretch of the imagination, so we've built out a ton of pre-built functions that can handle the same thing that coding traditionally would. So for example, the concatenate feature. So I'm going to go ahead and concatenate function, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to join together first name with last name, but on this one, I'm actually going to use a constant, because that's going to be pretty weird if there's not a space between the first and last name. I'll join that one together and use finish. Okay, so did I do that correctly? Let me hit validate just to make sure. SmartConnect says it was a success. That's awesome. We're good to go. So that's one example of, again, data transformation, how you can handle a lot of that, yet still giving you the flexibility of not needing to write a single line of code to bring all that together. So tasks. Tasks are important, and one of the biggest things that I love to point out here is first off, the flexibility. So we've got a lot of flexibility around tasks and being able to handle different things before, during different stages or events, or definitely after an integration runs. So you can read those there on the right-hand side, but probably the most popular one of these is the email functionality. So whether that's upon success, we can send that to whoever's monitoring and maintaining this on, hey, this integration ran at this time, it was successful, hooray, everybody, that's awesome. Or probably most importantly, if there are ever any fails or errors, making sure that we're identifying that from the instant that it happens. So again, that can be sent to whoever, that can be sent to any number of contacts that are maintaining the organization, maintaining the integrations within the organization. Again, people can be CC'd, BCC'd as needed. We're going to identify, okay, what was the map? Maybe it was my, again, CRM to GP integration. It ran on September 17th at 11:03 a.m. We integrated 2,000 records, yet 2 of them errored. So I get, again, all that level of detail right in that email. So first off, we're making you aware. Then I'll touch on in just a moment how we're going to actually be able to process and correct some of those errors right inside the tool. Yep, this is the first step in making sure that whoever needs to be notified, they're getting that instant communication if or when any of these occur. To close the loop on this side, within the integration itself, is the scheduling piece. So as I mentioned, this is a bulk scheduled integration, yet with that, we have a lot of flexibility and can even get pretty, near real time. So we can say, hey, I want this to run every minute on the minute. I want it to run during business hours from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. There we go. I don't want it every day, though. I only want it during business days. So I just want Monday through Friday. So again, I've got complete flexibility and functionality to say, okay, maybe price lists should be updated at the end of every month, but I want accounts to be updated on an ongoing basis throughout the day, and opportunities and invoices to be done every hour. So again, you've got complete flexibility to, however your business is built and structured, to say, hey, SmartConnect can handle this, and we can bring everything together to match your business and to match your processes. All right, I told you I was going to close the loop on the error handling component, so let's dive back into that. So let's say again, you got a notification, there were some errors that we need to dive into, and it was on my CRM to ERP accounts map on run number 16. If I pull that one open, and I dive in further, again, I'm only seeing the one that erred, not the ones that processed successfully. Cover that up. And I say, okay, the length of this, this one erred because we tried to pass in a field that had too many characters for our ERP. At 58 characters, the max was 50. If I dive in a little bit further, I can actually see each of the different records within, or each of the different fields within that record. And I can start to make some of these updates. I can say, okay, we had too many sweet bees in here. I'm going to go ahead and remove those. So I've got sweet bee in another field. Okay, that looks good. Everything looks accurate there. I'm going to rerun this. And again, I can do all of this right inside the SmartConnect interface. I don't even have to leave. I run that. That processes, and it was successful. Took us 9 seconds to do so, and that error has been resolved. So again, pretty cool is that I can handle all of that right inside of SmartConnect without ever leaving, without touching my source, my destination, without having to sort through anything that processed successfully. A couple other pieces that I would touch on briefly. So within the maintenance tab inside of SmartConnect here's where I have the ability to import any of those templates or any maps from any other SmartConnect instance. I can also again export pretty easily. I can create my own Excel templates. You saw some of the templates that we had built out for CRM, for GP, for other systems. You have the ability to create your own templates to match your business and the fields and the data that you want to import, the processes that you want to automate. And then as I kind of talked about in the beginning, the ability to extend SmartConnect beyond just the core applications that CRM and GP, but extend this to a lot of different areas of your business. Here's where that REST connector can come into play. So we've got a lot of these, some cool ones built out inside the sandbox environment, like Concur, like HubSpot, like Zendesk. Yet you could again use this to tap into virtually any API out there, where you can again define your parameters. We can upload the JSON files for the different return types, outline the groups and methods that we want to integrate, and then we're essentially going to build that custom connector that I can now use and deploy across the board with any source, any destination, across any number of integrations. So the beauty is let's say this happened not in the not so distant future, or not so distant past, I should say. Shopify made some changes to their API. The beauty is our customers did not need to change every single integration that they had with Shopify. All they needed to do was change their connection, and then all those other maps were updated appropriately and accordingly to facilitate the API change by Shopify. So this can really help with ongoing API management and things like that. Again, the web services connector can take this across the board to virtually any other application. I know I've been seeing a few questions kind of come in so far, and I've kind of tried to answer and hit on those, and a lot of those we've kind of touched on as we've gone through. Any other questions before we maybe circle back on some other pieces before we get everyone out of here early today? Well, not seeing anything. That sounds good. I will touch on a few more pieces, and then obviously if anything comes up, feel free to chime in. But pricing for SmartConnect. So try to make it very simple. Really the only variable in pricing across subscription tiers is the number of connections or number of systems that you're connecting to. So like we saw, CRM and GP, those would be 2 connections. You could fall into the lowest bucket of essentials at $250 a month. We files, so again, all of the Excel kind of data work that we saw, files, whether that's CSV, Excel, text, XML, etc., we lump that all into a single connection. So if you're using Excel with CRM and GP, that's a perfect fit for the standard plan, you've still got another connection there that you can build out to any other data source. So that's the only variable in the different subscription tiers of SmartConnect. Within those tiers, you get an unlimited number of users, an unlimited number of integrations between any of those connections, an unlimited data volume, all of that's completely, again, unlimited across the board. Unlimited support is an option. The lower tiers, it's included in the higher tiers, and we also include some additional services as well. So a lot of flexibility on that side of the fence. We want to make it clean and simple and easy for you to get started. Yet we also recognize that training, a good product, an easy to use product is one side of the fence, but training is also pretty important. So we offer a variety of training options. We've got some self-paced training on SmartConnect specifically for CRM. We offer a variety of public online trainings. Private online trainings are probably one of the most popular options because these are typically purchased in 4 or 8 hour blocks and allow you to really have a customized experience that's a one-on-one with our trainers. So any number of people from your team can attend. We can walk through, basics of SmartConnect. We can walk through, if you already know and you know in SmartConnect, we can walk through scenarios and things that are specific or issues that are specific to what you have going on. We've also done private in-person training, so we have people fly us out directly to their site to get together with their team and really have, again, a couple days of true hands-on deep dive training. And we also host a variety of boot camps around the country. And I'll circle back on boot camps in just a moment. Let's say, hey, you certainly want to get trained, but you might not have the technical or the integration acumen, or you just don't have time to handle it. We certainly have a professional services team that can also assist in any state of work with building out some or all of your SmartConnect integrations. That's something we can definitely look at and explore further if it's a fit for you and for what you guys are looking to bring together. So as I mentioned, our boot camps, we host a variety of these, again, around not only the country, but around the world. Our next ones will be coming up. We'll actually have one in Vienna, Austria, around the Directions Conference next month, and we'll be in Orlando for a conference for a 2-day boot camp ahead of the Summit Conference there. Our last one of the year will be in Atlanta in November, and then we're actually going to be releasing our 2020 boot camp schedule momentarily. But these are, again, really 2-day classroom setting, small classroom settings with traditionally, a dozen people at the most, where you're there with our trainers in a small classroom environment. So it's face-to-face. It's 2 full days to help you truly become a SmartConnect guru. If you want to get started, dig deeper, obviously feel free to check out smartconnect.com or our website, or our smartconnect.com is a really good site, or e1solutions.com/smartconnect. Dive into the tool, check out our templates. Again, we've got templates across the board. We're always open to a 30-day trial for anyone who's looking at getting going with SmartConnect. And then obviously, once you're ready to rock, you can purchase directly inside of our E1 shop, and then that's an instant. It gives you instant access to the full SmartConnect solution once you're ready to go. There's my direct contact information. I really appreciate everyone carving some time out of their Tuesday to hop on and join us today. If you've got any further questions or want to talk through any scenarios or any projects or things that you are working on more specifically, we'd certainly be happy to do so. And obviously, before we wrap up today, are open for any final questions that anybody has out there. So feel free to kind of type those in, and I'll be happy to address any questions you guys have.